Welcome to On the Bit, your weekly preview of the weekend's racing. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Very good, Dave. Ready to go.
That's good. Caulfield Guineas Day on Saturday, one of our favourite meetings of the year, and we've got the Group 1 Caulfield Guineas as the main feature. Pretty thin race, and we both pretty much think Piero's a special in this, don't we, Lenny?
Yeah, very much so. Very hard to. I can't see him getting beat, to be honest.
No, he just wins by panels. He's into $1.23. Probably a race you'd like to watch, but you could throw him into a multi because he's just going to give you that extra, 23% on your dividend. For mine, any exacta bet for you? Or
I'll probably look at taking Epaulet as a place chance. Maybe Quinella him with Piero as an exacta and take the value.
Yeah, I really like Awesome Bro to get the exacta here, so I'd be very confident about having Piero to win with Awesome Bro running second. The next feature of the day is the Caulfield Stakes over 2,000 metres, another Group 1. And again, Lenny, a very thin race because Manigo was scratched today.
Yeah, disappointing because I thought it was a match race between those two, basically. I think Midas Touch is gonna make a good clip, and it's going to be a solidly run 2,000, and that's my only query. Ocean Park was emphatic with his win last start, great turn of foot, but the Thorn Parks generally are more milers than 2,000 metre horses. But I think class should prevail, and he should just be winning. Yeah,
Ocean Park just wins for mine. And then watch out Cox Plate Day. So I've been on Ocean Park all spring. There's another Group 1 on the day, the Toorak Handicap over 1,600 metres. And what do you like in the Toorak, Lenny?
Well, Dave, they stay weight stops trains, but this is one big freight train.
Yeah.
More Joy, 60 kilos. She deserves every kilo she's got. She's a great mare. She's 3 from 3 at this track. Her last 2 preparations have been nothing short of sensational. She's flying. She's drawn for not a big field, shouldn't get in any traffic jams, and I think you'll just see a champion win here at Caulfield on Saturday. Yeah,
she's no doubt the class horse of the race, and she'll get the race run to suit. I think she'll be 1 out, 1 back. She's very underrated in Melbourne, but she's using this as a stepping stone to the Cox Plate, so I'm a little bit wary. I wouldn't want to be taking anything under the $2 mark, and she's starting to get out in the market a bit. I do really believe that King Mufasa is great value here at the $7. He won this race last year off the same preparation coming from New Zealand. He will probably sit outside steps in time, and I don't think they'll go very hard in this. So he'll get a nice steady pace, and then he will kick. And with Michael Rod on board, who rode him to win this Toorak last year, it will provide a hard horse for More Joys to get past. So I do like King Mufasa each way, and I think the $7 is very juicy. So yeah, they're the main 2 for me. I think the other ones are pretty much average handicappers. Glass Harmonian probably needs to get up to 2,000 really.
Chelsea needs them down at the weights. He ran well last start, but
you could throw them in horses in your multis and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So stable news for the week. We've had a couple of runners through the week. We had Flirtatious run 4th at Mornington yesterday. She ran quite well. She got out to last. Really hard to make ground at Mornington. Very short straight. She did work home really well and just got beat for 3rd. She'll be stepped up in distance now to 1,600 metres next start, and there is a race we've picked out for her on Oaks Day, Lenny, so hopefully we'll get it to that.
Yeah, I think she'd be up to it in her ears, something like that, though. Yeah. 1,700 Oaks Day.
We've also got Beringer running on Sunday at Cranbourne Cup Day in an open handicap over 1,400. It's actually quite a good race. There's only 8 starters in this race, but it's quite a good race, actually, very competitive race. He'll go back to last like he normally does and then try and swoop home. It will depend on whether Cranbourne is favouring those swoopers. And we wouldn't want to get too much rain for Beringer. He does like it very dry, the track. So he will be each way odds. He'll be about 15 to 1, I reckon. So each way he's going to be competitive. Some bad news through the week. Lenny, we had Fooling go down for the spring. He's got an infection of his knee, like a staph infection, it's called. He's actually been in the horse hospital all week, so that's a bit of a disappointment for all the owners in Fruling, but hopefully we'll get him back for the autumn and we'll have him go round. And the Sydney Carnival, there's a lot of staying races through that time of year, and it'd be suited to those.
Exactly. It'd be a blessing in disguise, Dave.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't ready this year for any of the big races, and might have killed him a little bit in back, trying too hard to get there. But he'll be back, and hopefully he'll be back bigger and better than he was. We also had a stable visit down at Markdale last Sunday, Lenny, and we saw the Gonski filly that you selected for us. And what do you think of her when you saw her?
I was quite pleased with the way she looked. All the horses looked really well, but the Gonski, she's improved.
Yeah,
she's come on, which is good to see. And the feedback we're getting from the girl there was that her work's been good and her attitude's been good, and that's important. She's settled in and she's making progress. Yeah,
we're really happy with her actually. I thought she'd it was the best she'd ever looked since I've seen her. She does need to strengthen up and fill out a bit, but you can see that she's got the right athletic frame, and she looks like a sprinting type, is what we expected from her. So just a bit of time and a bit of patience, and she should be she should be a good runner for us. We also saw the My Boy Charlie colt. He just come in back into work. He was a little bit rough in the coat because he still had his winter coat on. But he has been, Anthony says he's been moving quite well, doing evens and doing that quite easily. And he's a big framed colt, isn't he? And
lovely big frame colt.
He needs to fill it out.
Yeah. Not going to be an early horse.
No, he has got a lot of scope, and once he fills out, he will be a big, strong colt. Probably, hopefully, get that 1600 metre type, which will be good, because those 3-year-old events around that mark, the ones where everyone wants to be running at in those big races. So that's good. Some good news for us this week. Now we've got our value bets for the weekend, Lenny. So what do you like for your value bets for the weekend?
Value bet is Caulfield, Herbert Power. Dance with Her.
Very consistent, isn't she?
Very, very consistent mare. She kicked off her campaign in the Mackay Diva and ran a bottler.
Yeah.
And she backed it up, second up in the JRA Cup, and ran second and ran really well. She's drawn the 7, I reckon. She'll just about lead, or she'll be right handy on the pace. And she goes good at the distance and loves the track, so I think she's great odds at about the $13, $14 mark. Yeah,
she ran second to Lights of Heaven in the Brisbane Cup last in the winter, the Brisbane winter. So that's good form leading up into this. It is a very open race, but she'll be good value on the day. I've got 2 value bets for the weekend. I've got Caulfield Race 1, number 3, Speediness. His last 6 starts have been at group level without success. The last time he raced in just a normal open handicap, he won his race. So I really expect him to improve. I think Craig Williams will have him right behind the pace. There is a lot of pace in this race, so there's 3 or 4 sort of natural leaders, so he should get a good card in. He's also got the blinkers back on, which I think is really important. I think he'll be sitting sort of 1 out, 2 back, and once they come into the straight, I think he'll be charging home over the last 100 metres, and at $6.50 fixed odds, he's on the bit for mine. The other value bet for me is race 3, number 8, Satin Rock. She's had 2 very encouraging runs at Moonee Valley to start off with. She ran against Snitzerland in her last run at Moonee Valley. She was a little bit awkward around that final turn, but she ran home strongly down the Moonee Valley, the short Moonee Valley straight, I should say. And she tends to get back worse than midfield, but at Caulfield here, there's a straight run and then 1 bend. So I don't think she'll get as far back as what she's been getting at Moonee Valley. So I think she'll be right behind the speedsters in this race. Again, there's a few noted speedsters in this race, and I think she'll peel out late and she'll run them down. So she's 6-1 fixed odds, on the bit for mine, bet to nothing each way. And I really do like the Quinella with Hossamore. I think Hossamore will run second that race, so I think you could couple them up and get a good result from the Quinella. So that's our value bets for the weekend. Now the on the bit specials for the weekend. Now we're 3 weeks in a row, Lenny. We've got our on the bit specials up, and so the pressure's starting to mount up.
Up and about. Yeah, we're going to do it.
Starting to mount up. So what's your on the bit special for this weekend, mate?
I like Smoking Joey in the first. I think he's on the bit, Dave. His run at Caulfield was really good in the Group 1 last start.
Absolutely.
Made ground when nothing made ground.
Yep.
Which was impressive. His 2 runs this time in have been really good. there's going to be pace on, he's going to get back and he's going to be charging home. He loves the track and loves the distance, and I think he's going to be really hard to hold out. He's on the bit for mine.
Yeah, Smoking Joey from Anthony Friedman's stable. So yeah, I think he'll be a good chance in that too. So I'd probably couple him up with speediness in the Quinella as well. You might get a good result there. My on the bit special, I'm actually going to Morfordville for my on the bit special this week. I'm going to Adelaide, and it's race 7, number 4, Sir Fernando. He's actually, for me, he's all over a Melbourne City class galloper, this guy. Mick Price has taken him over to Adelaide. I'm just assuming it's just for a soft kill, and then he'll attack something later on in the spring for him. He's won at Moonee Valley, placed at Caulfield. He's got 3 wins and 4 seconds from 9 starts with Matthew Nielsen aboard, who's just a gun in Adelaide. He's 2-1 fixed odds, but I absolutely think this guy is on the bit and just wins. If you want to be extra cute, I'd actually couple him up in a multi with Ocean Park, Piero and him. You can get $4.15 currently on that, and I'd just load up on that multi and you get plenty back. Okay, we've got our off the bit lays of the weekend, and I've been a bit askew with these over the last couple of weeks, Lenny, and I got a bit of flack from the followers of On The Bit, so we better pull our finger out this week. So who's your off the bit lay this weekend, Lenny?
It was actually my on the bit special a couple of weeks ago, but he's off the bit this week, and that's Buffering.
Sticking your neck out?
I'm sticking my neck out. I didn't like last start the way he was tardy away. He had to work. He burnt a candle at both ends, and that was at 1200 at the Valley.
Yeah.
He's dropping back to 1000. It just worries me. And also, you know, we've been hearing the inoculations for Hong Kong.
Yeah.
That can flatten him a bit as well. So I'm just worried that he may get out sprinted that early bit. There's a few speedsters in this.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, yeah, and this isn't his grand final either. He's set for the Manikato in a couple of weeks on Cox Plate Eve. So yeah, this race is I don't like it either for him.
He's come up short.
Danger. Yeah, he's come up short. He's always going to be favourite, but yeah, he's off the bit for you, Lenny. All right. I'm at Caulfield 2, race 8, number 8, exceptionally is off the bit. Give me a spell. This filly, or this mare, they scratched her last week because they were too scared to run her. She's now come up at $4.80 favourite on the fixed odds, although she's starting to blow out a little bit now. She was drawn barrier 15. We'll go back to last. We'll be 10 or 15 lengths behind them at the 800 and try and run these horses down. They're all trying to win this race to get into the Caulfield Cup, so they aren't going to give it to her. She's not even in the Caulfield Cup. She's not even trying to actually win. She's only in for the run. Off the bit for mine. Exceptionally goes out, stays out of everything for me on the weekend. Not her race. She's not a Caulfield horse. She's a Flemington horse. She's off the bit. We'll hope to see everybody out here at Caulfield on the weekend. Josh Rodder from the marketing department of, or the media department of Caulfield has mentioned that there's free wireless for everyone now. They've upgraded the wireless systems here. Everybody who was out here last year might have had a problem, but this year there won't be any problems. So get out here, you can have a punt, you can have a drink. There's the new owners lounge at the back, and we can see everybody out there for a drink after the last, and we'll win on the punt because there's a few favourites. We'll multi them up and we'll have plenty.
Exactly, Dave. On the bit.
Good luck, Lenny.
Good luck, mate.